Hey, all you RC addicts out there, it's RC Addict Make You Loco, and today I have another unboxing, initial flight, and a quick review of the new Cheerson CX-10A. And what this is the upgraded version of the old one, the CX-10 from Cheerson. And what this is the world's smallest quadcopter. So why do I do an unboxing? Look how small the box is. Why do you need to do an unboxing? Well, a lot of people don't know exactly what they're going to need besides what's in the kit. So I'd like to let them know exactly what comes in there. Chargers, batteries, what comes in this kit. Can I get it, give it to my kid, and they'll be happy? Or am I going to go back out to the store and get more stuff? So I'm going to unbox it now. And first thing I notice is the packaging on here is a lot better packaging. It's squared up on there, a lot better presentation than the presentation on the old one here. It's kind of big and bulky, and they fit it all in a small little box. So that's another improvement on there. Not that it really matters. So we're going to unbox it here. We're going to take it out of here. Now what you got to realize about these is that they are very, very stable. They're a 6-axis quad, so it has a great gyro in there, so you can literally take it in your hand and throw it, and it'll just take off and go fly and self-correct itself. So it comes on top of here, and it looks a little bit different than the other ones. The old versions were solid in color, where these have a couple of different colors like silver and gold, and plus they have this little design on top up here. So it definitely looks a little bit better in that respect also. The remote control is exactly the same as the other one, except I believe all of them have this black stick and battery door on them, whereas the other ones, like this blue one, that CX-10 blue one I got, the controller matches the color of the quad. So that's a little bit different also. Besides that, you can see they're the same size. And you're thinking, this thing is small. How am I going to use it as an adult or a teenager? Well, I'm an adult and I have good sized hands, okay? And this thing is actually, because it's bulky, it's a little thicker here, it's not so thin, you can kind of cradle it in your hands. And the joysticks on here got grippers, and it really helps to fly it around and not lose your position on there. So there's plenty of room, even though it's a really small transmitter. So of course it gives you a little charger. It's a USB charger. And it's best to plug these into the wall, a wall USB charger adapter instead of your computer. But you can use the computer, your USB port on your computer. It just takes a little bit longer. No big deal. The charging time on here is about 30 minutes. And the flight time's 5 to 8 minutes. I'm going more towards the 5-minute mark on there. But the 5 to 8 is the official spec on there. And then, of course, they give you a full set of new blades in case they fly off, get damaged, whatever. But these blades are actually quite durable, so it's good to have them still, just in case you lose one. And while I'm unboxing this right here and getting these twist ties out, I do want to mention I got this from GearBest.com, and I'll put a link down in the description down below. Their prices are actually really, really good on all kinds of stuff, especially quadcopters. The price is great, and the shipping, of course, is always free. So it's a great place to get your stuff. And they're definitely reliable also, unlike some of the other ones that take forever to actually ship stuff out. So my camera has a little bit of a problem with white, but there we go, you can see it. It's got a nice little paint scheme on it. What these arrows are right here, that shows you the front. That's the front of the quad on here. And then of course here's the back where the switch is at, and the little charging port right there. Okay, so what's so great about this CX-10A over my current CX-10? Well, the biggest improvement is the headless mode. And the headless mode is very useful, especially for indoor flight. And the reason being is that if you're flying indoors and you're next to walls and objects and you turn this thing a little bit and you head in another direction, you may get disorientated as to where your sticks are going to go, your stick relativity. Now in headless mode, once you enable it, and it is an option to enable on there, once you enable it and you press forward, you go forward. You press backwards, you go backwards in relation to where you're standing and where you took off from. So left, right, forward, and back, no matter where this thing is at. Let's say you think you're flying this way, right? And it'll go forward and backwards and left and right normally. Let's say spin on its axis. Well, now forward is that way and backwards is that way. With headless mode, so you're flying along, you take off, you're in headless mode, and then you turn it a little bit, and then you fly this way, and then you press back. Well, now it's going to come right back. It will not go back like this. So that's the big difference there, and it makes it a great feature because this thing's primarily for indoor flight. Outdoors, long range, you're 15 meters away or whatever, you can kind of, self-correct yourself, but indoors, that's a great feature. I already tried it, and it's great for, avoiding walls and all that. So as far as walls, this thing is very durable. I've hit ceilings, walls, dogs have chomped on my old one, the CX-10, and the body and the hard shell on here is very durable. What this thing has is a LiPo battery inside of it. It's 100 milliamp. It's made just right for the right amount of flight time, and it's all encased in here, so you have a nice hard crash, right? You're not going to lose batteries and be dangling out in this major catastrophe. And then, of course, the arms on here for landing are nice and strong. So without yakking anymore, we're going to go ahead and we're going to start flying this. I'm going to show you the different modes so you can see how they react. I've got my dogs out down here, and they'll be there for comedic relief, if anything. All right, before you go out for your first flight, there's a few things we got to do. And the first thing we got to do is charge it. So get your USB charger out, plug it in the USB port, whether it be a wall adapter or your computer. And then we're going to stick it into the port right here on top of the quadcopter. Make sure it's switched off. And there's a little arrow on top of the connector for the charger, and that's going to line up with the top of it. Once you plug it in, it's going to light up down here, as you just saw. And when it's done charging, it'll automatically turn off. So once this is off, it's fully charged. You can come back over here and disconnect it, and we can start our gyro calibration, and then we can go for our first flight. Okay, so one last step before our first flight. This is not totally necessary, but it's a good idea. We're going to do a quick calibration of our gyroscopes inside of the quadcopter itself. What we're going to do is we're going to link it up like usual. Turn the transmitter on and the quad, let it link up. See, we're fully operational. And then we're going to put this joystick down in the lower left-hand corner and this one in the top left-hand corner. Kind of like this, and we're going to let it go through the calibration process. Okay, for video instructional purposes only, we're going to show you the lights on here, how they should look when it goes into the calibration mode on there. Again, your quad should be on a perfectly flat, level surface when doing this. The only reason I'm holding my hand is for video instructional purposes so you can see the lights properly. So you get in the calibration process. Let's see if I can do it one-handed. They're flashing a couple times, and then it'll go solid. And after that, it's ready to go. And I also took the blades off for instructional purposes only, so my fingers wouldn't get nicked once it calibrated like that. Otherwise, you can leave all the blades on. So you can see it's super stable. And you can see it's so small and stable that's actually very easy to fly indoors. Look at this thing. I've never been able to fly any other quad this good indoors. So we'll kind of walk around here. Whoa. Dogs love to chase it. What's nice is I kind of buzz their head and be safe because it's just this stable. Look at it. And that's my review of the Cheerson CX-10A. I'm going to get back to flying it and getting used to it. Try to fly it indoors. Once spring hits, I'm going to go fly it outdoors. Why not? As long as it's not that windy of a day. It's a little hard flying and filming at the same time, so my flight skills aren't the best. It may appear on camera, but it is a very stable quad, especially for its size. It's got tons of power. If you're on the ground, you take off, it's just a lot of fun to fly. And the price right now on GearBest.com is actually $17.99. That's a very cheap price considering the original one. The original CX-10 was around $20 some when they first came out. So the new ones, $17.99. Why not? Go get it. GearBest.com.